It's Team Run, baby.
Welcome to the Pharaoh's Realm podcast. I'm your host, BlackPharoah. And on today's show, we have a very special guest. So I always tell a story of how I meet my guests. And I met my guest in another content creator stream, and I mistaken her for somebody else. And she was just so nice and cordial. Said, "No, I'm not this person, but I like her content. But I'm just as cool as she is." And I, of course, went and followed and supported her. And, I typically ask people this question, who's their favorite streamer? And I can honestly say she is in my top 3 of my favorite streamers. In other words, if I'm not streaming, she's somebody that I'm watching. And I can prove, I have the receipts because I have the channel points to prove it. I think I have over 60,000 channel points. And if you know how channel points work, you earn 60. If you're a subscriber, you earn 60 points per, I think, 8 minutes or something like that. I have over 60,000 channel points. So that tells you how much this person is my favorite streamer. And let me introduce to you guys the unicorn, a.k.a. Unicorn Kels. Let's welcome her to the podcast.
Thank you for having me. It's my pleasure to be here.
Yes. Oh, my God. It's such an honor to have you here. Chat, and I'll start off. She is the queen. Okay, let me put it like this. A lot of people come for that mantle as the queen of COD, the queen of Call of Duty. This woman has I know it's over 100. It's probably close to the 150, if not over 150 Rebirth wins. Now, if you know, Rebirth only came a season ago. So to have that many wins, I've seen her clutch so many wins, whether it's with her partner in crime, Patty Pooh. She runs with King Free Smoke, E-Double, shout out to them. And I'm shouting them out because that's your family, meaning they always, whenever I see you on, they on with you. So shout out to King Free Smoke, shout out to EW, shout them out as well. But let me ask you this question. What game was the first game to get you started in gaming? Not streaming, but gaming itself.
Gaming itself. You'd have to go back to the Atari. I'm old. Kaboom was my game on Atari. And I don't know if you remember, but it was a little guy that sat at the top with prison clothes on, and he would drop bombs. And you have to go back and forth and catch the bombs before they hit the ground. Yes. That was my game. I was obsessed with it. There was also this other game on Atari that you flew a plane and you had to pick up gas cans, but you had to dip and dodge and you couldn't hit any walls or touch it. I was obsessed with it. But Kaboom, yeah, absolutely. I would play it today if I could.
Wow. So let me ask you this. How did you feel about seeing that game in COD? And so, at the end of the Nuketown map, they have the kaboom, like when the bomb drops and it says kaboom. How did you feel when you saw that they put that back into the game?
You want to be like Kaboom, you're not Kaboom. See, if they would have you had to pop, because it would go pop, 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 boom. But yes, Kaboom is my, oh man. That brings back so many memories.
Oh man, yeah. Like I said, my first console I got was actually a 2600, and Miss Pac-Man and Space Invaders were probably my top 2 games that I played on Atari all the time. Oh,
Miss Pac-Man, definitely.
These kids would. Oh yeah. I believe I have it on my Xbox. As a matter of fact, I have it.
I make my kids play it. I go, watch. Can you beat me?
They will never understand, because we had that love for that game first in the arcade. When you had and I don't know how I held the controller like this. I was up under the knob. I wasn't an over the hand type guy. I was under the hand, and I could.
Oh, you played like this.
Yeah, I played. Yeah.
Oh no, I was like this.
Oh, you was over the top. Okay. Yeah, and see, and that's real gamers know. There's either 2 ways you hold that knob. You either hold it under or you hold it over the top.
Yep, and I played almost like claw. I guess you would call it claw, because I only used one finger on it and had my hand down at the bottom and would move like that. I'm always.
I'd be nervous. I'd be nervous. I'd be nervous for my hand to slide off holding like a claw. I would think my hand would just go bloop, and you can't have that right, because that would always happen right in the middle of an intense moment in the game. Your hands go bloop and slide right off.
Yes, definitely.
So, what are some of the consoles that you've played on, and which one was your favorite?
The Nintendo, definitely the Nintendo, and my favorite game on there was Zelda. My camera's tripping. I don't know what's wrong with you. It was a gold cartridge, if you remember.
Yes, I remember The Legend of Zelda. Yes.
So on Zelda you couldn't save your game, so you had to. My mom was real strict, and she'd always come to my room and see if my game was on. So what I would have to do was unplug the cable that went to the TV, so it wouldn't show up a picture, so she'd see the TV. I mean, one day, I grinded on this game for days. I was 7 links in. I only needed 2 more. I come home from school. My mom says, "Oh man, do you know you left your game on? I cut it off for you."
Oh my God.
I just cried. My mom's like, "What's wrong with you? Why are you crying?" I'm like, for days. And she's going, "Over a video game?" And I'm going, yes. Over a video game.
They were never, like the song says, parents just don't understand.
Yep. That was my theme song. And she couldn't understand for the life of her. She was just like, I don't understand. You got a problem. And I'm like, I don't have a problem, Mom. I just want to beat the game. But Super NES, I also had Super NES. I've had a PlayStation 2, PlayStation 3, an Xbox 360, an Xbox One, and now I'm on PC.
Now you're on PC. And what has been your favorite overall?
Probably PC now, just because of the games that I play now.
Right.
But I love the Super Nintendo. The Super NES was great. There were some great games on Super NES.
Yes, a lot of I know I've talked to other guests that I've had, and GoldenEye was probably hands down one of the favorites that was
GoldenEye, Donkey Kong Country.
Yes,
one of my favorite series after Zelda, because it was you had to do challenges and find bananas, and graphics were amazing. I just remember when it coming out going, "Oh my God, look at the graphics," because you went from Nintendo to Super Nintendo. And that was the first game that they actually had all the bright colors. Oh man, it was my favorite game. Yeah, you also had it was a gun game. You used to ride horses.
Yeah, I think that went from 8-bit to 16 or 32-bit or something.
Yeah, it was just I just remember being "Oh man, the music, the graphics, throwing Diddy across the board, sending them back." Yeah, but that Super NES would be my favorite compared to PC now.
Okay. Yeah, like I said, I've had a lot of systems. Dreamcast was probably one of my favorites because it was a little bit ahead of its time. I played
on it. I didn't own one though.
Yeah, it was a little bit ahead of its time graphics wise, and as I always say, I think that's what the Xbox I think they bought that technology from Sega, low key, and they turned it into the Xbox. But Dreamcast was probably one of my favorites because that's where 2K football and basketball started. But it was just so far ahead of its time graphic wise.
That it blew you away, because I just remember. Yeah, I remember that. That was really the first PC. It seemed like a PC gaming system to me, as far as graphics went back then. Yeah, definitely back then.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. It was definitely the equivalent to PC back then, just for everything that it could do to process.
And it was so expensive.
Yes, I bought. Yeah,
it was one of the more expensive ones, and I remember that's why I didn't have it, because it was $300, $400 then.
But it was $400.
Yeah, see, but back then, no. I'd pay it now, but back then, no.
Yeah, you're talking. As a matter of fact, it's almost 20 years, because I believe it was 2000 when it launched, somewhere around there, 99, 2000. So just over 20 years from that launch. So, I mean, thankfully the systems they've gone up a little bit in price, but but you're getting, of course, way better quality.
Better quality now. Yeah, definitely better quality now.
So, if there was a game from the past that you would like to see brought back and remastered in 2021, what game would that be?
What game would that be? Black Ops 2.
Really?
Yes.
So,
that's my favorite. It's my favorite Call of Duty game. It's probably my favorite multiplayer game of all time. Hands down. Yeah, definitely.
No, why is that one of your favorites?
So I learned to play COD on Modern Warfare 3. Mm-hmm. So I wasn't very good. I was trash. Like, I used to get beat up. Like, my son taught me to play. He wanted me to play with him one day. So that's how I learned to play COD.
Okay. Shout out to your son.
He was 6. No bull. So we're playing the game, and I mean, I'm just getting like creamed, like, and he's just, one day, I said, I'm just going to keep trying. I'm going to get better. I'm going to get better. So Modern Warfare 3 was done and over with, and Black Ops 2 came out. So the first day it came out, I bought it. And I don't know what I did. I think I switched my switch inverted. He tells me he didn't do it. I swear he did. Mm-hmm. I started playing inverted and started murdering everything.
Wow.
So that was the first game that I really went postal on, and people were like, damn, you're good. Like, you're always at the top of the leaderboard. So it's like, it's just my favorite game.
Okay. Oh. Yeah, I mean, so let me ask you, what do you think about the new title that was introduced for 2021 with them going back to the World War II setting?
I think they're running out of ideas.
Agreed.
I think that the development of what COD is becoming is a remake of what it's been, because they're trying to go back and fix what was broken then. Let's be honest. COD's been broken since it's been out.
Right.
It's never been right. And I think that's always because every year you rush for that 1 year deadline. You want to push out a new one so much and so fast that you don't take the time to make sure it's done correctly, that, there's no issues with the system, that your servers are up and running properly, that your graphic design. And I think because of that, they recycle everything. I think that's why, you have Warzone. You brought out Alcatraz for Cold War, and that's from Black Ops 4. Like,
yes.
You didn't even make a whole new game. You gave me the same map. Changed up a little area. You moved the ship and put a security area in, and all of a sudden it's a new map. Mm-hmm. I mean, it's the same thing, and I just think they don't have any ideas of where they want to go or what they want to do. And it's sad. Like, it's sad.
It is. It is for a multi-million-dollar, probably close to $1 billion company now, for them to. Well, first and foremost, I think they have too many hands in the pot. You got Sledgehammer, Infinity Ward,
Treyarch,
and Treyarch. Mm-hmm. So you got 3 developers of a game that 3 different ideas, 3 different directions. Now, I didn't like Blackout. I was terrible at Blackout. I didn't like Blackout. Yeah, I was terrible at Blackout. I think it was too close to PUBG. I never really got into PUBG.
And see,
I was
terrible. Hate PUBG.
Yeah, I was terrible at Blackout. Now, Warzone, I'm like, okay, you got something here. Just with the gameplay, the map.
I hated Warzone. I didn't play Warzone until season 3. That's how much I hated it was to me, but I played Black Ops 4. So Blackout to me was the best that was out as far as registry, movement, vest wise. Like, I just felt like it was so much better. And then they did an update. Warzone did an update in season 2 where they changed the movement. And when they changed the movement, I could play it. It was like, okay, this is bearable. I can move. Like, the movement is a little bit better now. I felt like I was doing things. But in the beginning, I thought it was trash. Horrible.
Really?
I hated it.
I mean, I had early success with Plunder. Plunder is probably one of my favorite modes. Just going after money and getting, and I actually use it sometimes for practicing new weapons and stuff. But I just thought I thought they hit a home run with it, and then I realized they failed. Just like you said, no longer. So there used to be a time with video games when the developers put out a game and that was it. But now that it's changed so much with these updates and now they have and it's made them less accountable because now, like you said, I throw a game out on August 31st and it is not even perfected until right before the new release of a next game next year. So by July of next year, by July of next year, you finally perfected this one. Then you just launch this one, and it's like and now it's broken all over again. So yeah, I mean, like I said, we as gamers have gotten, I guess, accustomed now to just waiting for the next update, and Fortnite.
Well, and fingers crossed that they fix it, even though they fix one thing and then they fuck up something else.
Yeah, no, and I know I code, like I know a little bit about coding, and they just don't they don't realize when you write the code for one thing, like where's the testing at, and that's why I say these developers moved out of it. There used to be a time when game developers had testers, guys that that worked in the office, and they
played video games and looked for glitches. They looked
like
for
the movie
glitches.
Mama's Boy. Yeah, like the movie Mama's Boy. You just had a whole bunch of people that they played your game, they worked on it, they let you know, they gave you feedback. Now they got rid of all those people, and now they said, well, instead of having 5 people test the game, we'll just throw it out there in the alpha, we'll throw it out there in the beta, and then we'll just because with Cold War, the beta played very well.
I was really shocked. I bought it because the beta was so well.
Yes,
I even liked multiplayer, and I was like, oh man, I'm back. I'm gonna play multiplayer. Like I'm a hardcore domination player. Like I'm back. And then it dropped.
And then we got hoodwinked. And then when it dropped, it was like,
this is not what I signed up for. Like, wait, this isn't the beta. What did you do with the beta?
Right.
Like, did you not build off of that? See, and I went to school for programming, so I'm like,
really?
Yeah, I went to school for programming. I got a bachelor's in computer information systems and database management.
Okay, so we're gonna make this public service announcement. If you are a game developer in need of a programmer, we have a young lady right here with a gaming history. She's been gaming since Atari's. That means she knows the history of gaming. You don't have this new generation Fortnite kid that only knows this platform.
Right.
She knows the history. Bring this woman on board. Please.
Let me help you. Let me help you make more money.
Yes.
Everybody wants a game that works. Let me help.
Yeah. Yes. Well, that's it. See, and one thing I love about this podcast so far that I've done, I've always learned something new about somebody that I didn't know. And like I said, for you to say that you have a programming background and a bachelor's in that, I know how tough that is. I went to, I don't know if you remember TCI in New York, Technical Career Institute. I went there, and that's when I started early in it. And then real life set in, and I had to drop out. But so I know the struggle of that degree. So
and I worked a full-time job. Oh man.
Yes. So applause to you for getting that degree in programming because I know the struggle firsthand of a programming degree and all the stuff that you got to go through. So that's it. So have you ever thought about going into the games and looking at the code behind it? I mean, I know you got to kind of be careful with it because you don't want to get bent. But have you ever thought about?
Believe it or not, I do go in and read it sometimes.
Okay.
And I do it just to see if I still know how to.
Right.
And it's kind of like, it's weird because when you first start programming, you look at like all the numbers and the letters and these, the syntax of everything, and you're like, I don't even understand how anybody could do this. And then as you go on, and then it's like you look at it now, you read, and I'm like, oh, that means if that's true, then it'll pop this up, and if that's false, it's going to make that, and if that's false, then it'll do this. And my son, who taught me how to game, he's a hacker. I'm not lying. He's a hacker. He knows how to manipulate the game system, and he's good at it. And he's only 16. Well, he'll be 16. So, I tell him, if you want to do this, I said, look, I went to school for this. This is what you got to do. This is what this means. This is how you do this. And, he likes it, but he doesn't like it yet. And I said, once you understand it, you'll enjoy it more.
Exactly.
You'll know what you're looking at, and you'll go, oh, okay, I get why this is this now.
Right.
But
son, when you go back and watch your mom on this podcast, she's giving you the blueprint. She's giving you the path. There is so much money in that right now because these people want hackers to come in and break stuff so that they can, make the
fix the system.
I tell people all the time, the Nortons of the world, the McAfees, they actually hire hackers to hack their antivirus software so they can make the fix for it. So they purposely send the virus out, and they already got the remedy within a couple of days. So because they already know what's coming. So son, when you go back and watch this, your mama, you are ahead of the game. You're 16. You are ahead of the game. Listen to your mama. Yes, listen to your mama. She's giving you the blueprint. You will make $1 gazillion and work from home. You will have a desk setup just like your mama's. Yeah, you have how your mom is sitting right now. You have a similar setup with a whole bunch of monitors, and you will make $1 gazillion because
they already try to steal them. Both my sons want to steal my monitors. You're not using this one. I can take this one, right? No. It belongs there. It's his home.
So let's transition over into your streaming journey. So, like I said, and like I opened the podcast, you are one of my top 3 streamers. Like I said, if you are on, I'm watching you. I am watching. I'm in your chat. I chat. I know. I've gotten to know some of the other people in your chat. I always say what's up to them. So, like I said, I can honestly admit I'm one of the unicorns. I'm watching.
Thank you.
But let me ask you this: when you're not streaming, who is one of your favorite streamers to watch?
I have a bunch because if you do mainstream, I watch Swag a lot. Okay. I like Swag. I like his whole little crew. So I watch Swag, Booyah, Santana, and J Smooth. They're so fun to watch because they have great chemistry together. And they're always cracking jokes on each other, and they're enjoying themselves.
Yes,
which is a big thing. And then Nice Wig I watch for Apex. He's an amazing Apex player. He's one of the top 15 people in the world, I think.
Wow.
He's Predator already. But other than that, I like to watch you. I watch Demo. I watch Noob, Knight Rider, Bossy, Pocket, of course. Out of Pocket is one of my favorite guys. Yeah. He supports me a lot. He's a great guy to watch. Bolo I watch a lot. I watched him come up. For a long time I wouldn't even follow Bolo because I didn't like the way his stream looked. And Patty and I joke about this because I can't follow him if his stream doesn't look good. And I watched him all the time, but it took him a little while. And then one day I was like, okay, he improved his stream. I'll follow him now. But I've been watching him for months.
Hey, listen, your stream got to look like a fresh pair of Timbs or a fresh pair of Uptown Nikes, man. Your stream ain't crispy. We can't support you.
That's a big thing. And Patty's drilled that in my head, He's always like, your stream looks good. I'm like, okay, thanks. You need to fix this.
That's that Uptown in him, though, man. I know a lot of people that's that Uptown in him, man. They have when I say Uptown, it's Harlem. Mm-hmm. They have a certain swag. They have a certain swag to them. So I know because I always tell you when he talks, it just comes out it's like you just know where he's from. Like you,
yes.
If you're a New Yorker, you hear it, and you hear it in his voice. Shout out to Patty, man. And but you hear it in his voice. I'm like, this dude is 100% Dipset, Harlem World, all rolled into one.
Harlem all day. Funny story about that real fast. So both my sons, my oldest son's name is Julian Jewels Cameron Kelly.
Julian Jewels
Cameron Kelly.
Wow.
So I've always been a hardcore Dipset fan, always.
Yeah, love their music, yeah.
My baby son, who was not supposed to be here, we don't know where he came from. His name is Cameron Jewels Vincent Kelly.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
That's much love. Wow.
They were like, during that era, like they were born in 05, 06, so
yeah. Dipset was popular. Oh yeah, Dipset was
no,
popular.
they were my favorite. You couldn't tell me nothing. I had everything was Dipset all day. How dare you play something else? This is what we listen to, right? So yeah, I have a thing for Harlem apparently, and now I have a patty. So.
Listen, one of the best restaurants I've ever gone to was on 116 and 2nd Avenue. There's a Spanish restaurant that used to be on the corner there. And I would come from Brooklyn to go up there and eat because the food was so good.
I wonder if that's the spot that Patty takes me to.
Yeah, ask him if it's it should be 116 and 2nd Avenue, I believe it is. I don't think it's 3rd. I think it's 2nd.
Okay.
And it's right on the corner, and the food in there is amazing.
Okay.
Amazing.
Okay.
I would come from, like I said, I would come from Brooklyn
just to get
go all the way up to, just go. Oh, at least once every 2 weeks, I would go up there and get some food.
Okay, yeah, that's got to be the spot we go to because this one spot we go to. I mean, food is banging. Just like this is what I miss. This is what I miss.
Can you imagine my struggle down here? Like I said, when I come back to New York, I get pizza and I get White Castles all the time, like clockwork. I found a decent pizza shop down here. Shout out to Pizza Haven. I get a good. They even make a beef patty with cheese and tomato sauce. Which you go to other pizza shops down here in Florida, they look at you like you got 6 heads. Like
what?
We don't make that here.
What is that?
Do you guys have a knish? A knish?
What the hell is a knish?
Like, I don't even know. I'm like.
And then you look at them and you go, "Where have you? This is an Italian restaurant, right? Like you know what?
You guys have. No idea. So yeah, I miss home. So I know, like I said, but that's interesting. That is a great. Like I said, I'm learning again something new. You dropping jewels. No pun intended.
Yeah.
Oh man, that's great. That's great. So let me ask you this. A whole bunch of secrets. No, you're good. No, this is great. This is great. Like I said, I'm sure when your community watches this and they hear this and they're gonna just, like I said, learn so much. And again, this is the intent. This is the intent, for streamers to come out, and to get to know you better. And to me, when you open up like that, it just makes your content creation that much better. And people are going to be jumping. Oh wait, she's a dipset. Oh wait, I know. And watch how it's going to change your life. And like I said,
looking forward to it.
Like I said in the pre-production, I said you will be a full-time content creator by this time next year. I'm speaking it into existence. I'm putting it out there. We're going to make sure people follow you, support you. We're going to make sure that they subscribe because this needs to be your full. We don't need you dipping off to the other job. We need this to be your full-time
be gone for
job.
days at a time.
We need this. We need this. Viewers, whether you're on audio or video, we need this to be her full. I vouch for streamers. I'm vouching for this one right here. I am vouching for her. We need to make her full-time.
That's the goal.
So let me transition into this. So what has been the greatest achievement at this point of your journey so far, your streaming journey?
Just my community that I have now. I remember the times when there was a 0 and I didn't have any viewers on Mixer. And I just remember going, damn, I wonder if one day I'll have numbers there, Mm-hmm. And, after the whole Mixer thing and then coming to Twitch and, then getting the sub button. I think the sub button was such a major awakening because it was like, this is what I was trying so hard for on Mixer.
Right.
And now I have my own button. That means, people can sub to me. And then, just my first subs and just where my community is now and the people that do support me. Like, I'm just blown away sometimes. Like, I never imagined I would be here.
Right.
And at one point, I was going to give up streaming.
Really? Well, I'm glad you didn't.
Well, thank you. I'm glad I didn't either because I know the streaming is more like my therapy. Like, talking to people and, playing the game and conversating has really become a calming point for me. Like if I'm angry, if I'm mad, or if I'm upset, it's always been a good distraction or something for me to focus on that kept me in a positive spirit. And, you know, like I said, the people that I talk to, you know, just enjoying that conversation and seeing people every day. It's really what I love the most, though.
Yeah, and like I said, you know, your community, I'm a part of your community, but your community is great. A lot of good people in there. I don't even think I've ever seen any negative toxic levels in it. So if it's anything toxic, it's somebody, you know, joking with each other or something like that. But I've never seen anything negative. So, you know, like I said, shout out to your community. You know, I can definitely see that. Great community. So you mentioned Mixer, and, you know, you like a lot of us got caught up in that, you know, that announcement. What was your feeling like when they made that announcement that they were shutting down the platform? Like, how did you feel with that?
So I remember reading it on Twitter, I think. Mm-hmm. It was either Twitter or Instagram. It was something that I seen, like, and I called it like early morning hours. Mm-hmm. And I remember telling Patty, I remember going, they just shut Mixer down. He was like, you lying. And I was like, no, like, seriously. They shut Mixer down. And he was, you know, he didn't believe me. You know, of course, started doing research. You know, Mixer was shutting down on, what was it? I think July 26th. I think they made the announcement on like June 26th.
Yeah, May or June 26th, something like that. I know it was a short window for the
yeah, it was like a 30-day eviction notice.
Yeah, exactly.
So my initial reaction was, you can't evict me. I'm moving out. So that day I went and made a Twitch account and I never streamed on Mixer again.
Wow. Yeah,
and that was only because the only time I did stream on Mixer was I would put my Twitch address. You know, hey, come follow me on Twitch. But I never did another stream on Mixer. I figured there was no point. You know, it's shutting down. It's a dead platform. There's no reason for me to even be here. I might as well start fresh on a new platform and go from there. And never looked back. And around the time that I saw the announcement, I was watching another streamer who was a partner streamer, and he had just quit his job full time maybe a couple of months before that, and he read that, and the man was almost in tears. Yeah, because he gave up so much, you know, for Mixer to, you know, just drop like that. And I felt for, I mean, you know, luckily I have a, you know, full-time job. I just felt so bad for all the people that gave up everything for that.
Everything for their dream and invested so much time. And I was supposed to go to one of the PAX events, and the people were going to the PAX events and meeting each other, and, you know, and to me, it felt like a family reunion. It felt like Mixer felt like family, and it just felt like the elder, you know, passed on, and then the family just split up, and everybody went their separate ways. Like
Big Mama left, and everybody moved on. There wasn't that binding, that one figure to hold everybody together, because when Mixer shut down, you had people that went to Trovo, you had people that went to D-Live, you had people that went to Facebook, you had people that went to Twitch, you know, everybody went separate places. And it was like, there's people that I still look for that don't even stream on Twitch. Some of them stream on Trovo, and I can't even remember half the time to go to Trovo. You know, I got a couple friends that they do really well on D-Live, and, you know, I got a thing over there. I just never have time to go over there, because as soon as I open up Twitch, I usually see like, oh, well, let me go say hey to this person. Right. You know, so it sucks in that aspect that I wish I could still stay in touch with everybody, but it's kind of sad. There, you know, there's some people that I've met, new people on Twitch that I probably would have never met on Mixer. I do think this, though. I think when Mixer shut down, it humbled a lot of people.
Yes.
Because a lot of people, I think, were getting ahead of themselves, and a lot of people's attitudes started to change, and, you know, who felt like they were better I'm better because of this, or I'm better because of that. And when that rug got snatched out from underneath your feet hurt just like mine did. And all of a sudden you felt like there was people that were rude to me, and I won't say their names, but they were pushing really hard to become partner and they would do whatever it take to make partner. And it was funny when Mixer shut down, I watched them struggle on Twitch, and I said, that same attitude you had on Mixer ain't working on Twitch, is it? You weren't as big as you thought you were, you know, and I actually got affiliate before they did, and deep down I kind of had a little giggle, like, you know, payback is a...
It is. And like you said, you know, I'm of the belief, and this is one of the things that I like about, you know, your channel. You always shouting people out. People come in, you always giving the shout out and so on. And I'm the same way. You know, I have a motto: everybody eats. Mm-hmm. And you know, within, you know, our community, I tell people, you know, I don't expect you to sit in my stream for 2, 3, 4 hours. It's as a black man, I barely keep an attention of 30 minutes. Like it gotta be something good. Like if I'm watching like maybe Falcon and the Winter Soldier, that's keeping my attention. Mm-hmm. Streaming, you know, if I'm on your stream, if it's early, if I'm at work, you know, 9 times out of 10 I got it up, you know, or I'm interacting. But you know, we really can't expect people to sit in our streams, you know.
You have a 30, life,
you know, for 4 hours.
Like you have a life. I don't, and I think that's the thing. People need to realize and be feasible about this. You sitting right here, unless you got great stock in the stock market, you're not making money watching me.
Right,
like,
exactly.
You can't support your family or whatever you have going on by watching me. You know, and I don't expect anybody to stay in my stream for 10 hours and, you know, talk the whole time. Hey, I appreciate you coming by saying, hey, showing me you here. I appreciate that, because it's like, oh man, you thought about me enough to come in here and speak. Oh man, like you're an awesome person. You know what I'm saying? Like that's the best thing you can do for me, you know, and I would never expect anything less from anybody else.
Right. And that's what I tell people all the time. You know, come in. If you spend 15, 20 minutes, yo, I'm cool with it. Say hi, chat up a little bit. Hey, I go. Because I'm a firm believer you have other streamers that you support. So you're going to bounce around from stream to stream. And that was the problem, like you said, I found on Mixer, was that people just felt like, and especially within our community, you know, if I shout out somebody else, oh, I'm going to, you know, and I talked with Demo, me and Demo talked about this, like, you know, you felt like, oh, I'm going to go watch this person and spend all my time over here. Like, I'm no longer going to be a supporter. It's like, you know, your content is, you know, everybody makes content.
I want them to watch you like you watch me. Like,
yeah.
Like, what do you mean? But see, that's that. Everybody's in competition. Stop making it a competition. You should do this because it's fun and you like to do it. It's not a race. I'm not trying to get first place before you. You know, I'm not going to hate if you got 150 subs, man, that's awesome. If you got 2 subs, that's awesome. You know, be grateful for what you have. I think, you know, it's funny. I just read an article. I think Safari posted it on Instagram where he said, you know, you 22-year-olds got the whole game out of whack. You're so worried about what the next person has that a lot of it they don't even have. It's all a front. You're chasing a false hope. You're chasing falseness. You're not even chasing anything that's real. Stop worrying about the next person. Worry about you. As long as you're happy with what you're doing, shouldn't matter what anything else is going on. I want you to support me just like everybody that's watching this should be supporting you. Everybody that's watching me should be supporting everybody that I deal with, because I deal with good people. And that's what I want. As long as you have good people in your community is only as good as you are and what you allow to come into it. So the people that are in my community are good people, and I want them to all be friends with each other. I want them to all be like, man, I was watching such and such the other night. Man, you wouldn't believe what happened. Come in and tell me stories. I love to hear stuff like that.
Yeah, I followed the young lady you was playing with. I think it was either last night or the night before. Mocha. Oh,
Mocha, yes. Mocha's awesome people.
Yeah, and typically what I do, you know, when you suggest somebody and I go follow them, I'll tell them, hey, came over here. And I want them to know where I came from. Hey, you know, stopping through, I came over from Kells, you know, I saw you, she shouted you out. And like I said, I love that. And I've done that to, like I said, I follow King Smoke. I follow her. There's probably out of pocket. There's probably about 6 or 7 streamers that I follow because of you. Because of, you know, of your shout outs. And I want to just put this out here on stream as well that a lot of people don't know. And I'm going to drop this jewel with y'all. I actually made affiliate before I was full time on Twitch because of you, because you shouted me out one time, a couple of times in your stream. You shouted me out, and I was still on Facebook gaming. I wasn't on Twitch full time, and you shouted me out, and my count went from like 30 something to like almost 50. Like I made a huge jump within the 2 days after you shouted me out.
Good,
so I do, like I said, I do want to tell you thank you for that as well.
You
because
are so welcome.
And I never shared that with nobody because I was saving that story to tell it to you. Because and again, that just shows how much when you show love and you have that mentality that everybody eats, you sometimes don't even know as a streamer, as a content creator, how you're helping another person grow who has the same, story, the same journey, the same, they're walking up the same steps, and you're giving them a hand and pulling them up instead of giving them the foot and pushing them back down. So I definitely salute you for being one of those that gives the hand and not the boot. You don't give the Tim. When I look up, I'm not seeing Timberland. I'm seeing
no. I got down. Small hands, so I'll hold them out. Come on, let's go. Absolutely, but thank you. I'm like I said, that I just want I'm only as good as the people around me are as good. That's one of the reasons, believe it or not, that I like swag so much, is because the other night, matter of fact, Patty and I was watching swag, and he got his boys, Booyah, Smooth, and Santana, he got them into the FaZe clan.
Oh, okay.
He pushed for them to be in FaZe because he wanted his boys to eat like he was eating, and they had been there with him since day one. And I was like, it was such a humbling experience to watch this young man who's 24 go, these my boys, and I want them to eat too. And it was so refreshing to go, man, he's doing it right. He's got it, You're only as good as your squad.
I love that. I didn't even know that story, and I follow him, but I appreciate him even more now because he did the Nelly move. He set the table, and then he made sure he added a leaf into the table, and then he made sure there was room and chairs, and made sure there was room for his whole squad to eat.
Right, when I watched, it warmed me. I got goosebumps now. I had goosebumps the night it happened because it was crazy how he did it. He sent everybody a package and told them they couldn't open it until this night on stream. So he made them all go get the package, and they all opened it up. He played this video, and they had no idea. Their facial expressions were just like
amazement. That's
Santana's running around going nuts. Booyah's just like, Jay starts crying. You have no. I mean, it was just so nice to see, and I was like, this is why I like this dude. This is why I follow him. That's why I follow him.
Yeah, I follow him, but I'm probably you just probably enhanced my support for him because, like I said, I had no idea. I mean, I'm glad to hear that story, and I hope the other streamers that that are watching this set the same table for your people. Set the same. I had my crew's PDA. They were my two. I've known them guys since second grade. They were my first two guests on my podcast. Yeah, they were my first two guests. We go back to second grade.
That's crazy.
And I made sure when I got my podcast, they were my first two guests. I set the table for I had them on first, and then I had everybody. Like I said, your episode number 5, because that's how high a favor that I hold you. That I wanted to make sure that I didn't want you to wait down, and no disrespect to anybody else. I'm going to have a lot of streamers on. I got a lot of people to get to, but I wanted to make sure that I had you in a certain slot because, like I said, I definitely wanted to give you your flowers, as they say.
Why am I alive?
Yeah, give you your flowers. Yes.
Well, thank you. I appreciate the flowers.
All right. So this next segment is brought to you by Diamond the Doula. If you're looking for a more holistic way, natural way for your healing and your natural needs, check out diamondthedoula.com. I was recently diagnosed with a bad back. She sent me some oils for my back because I didn't want to go around smelling like Bengay, like I just came out of the hospital all day. So she sent me some oils. It's been a relief. It allows me to sit here and do the podcast with my guest. But again, check out diamondthedoula.com for your holistic needs, not your CBD. She doesn't deal in CBD, but your other holistic natural needs. Definitely check out today.
Absolutely.
So I'm going to ask you some questions in rapid fire style. Again, there's no right or wrong answer. Just tell me the first thing. If you got a story behind it, even better. But tell me the first thing that comes to mind.
All right.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. So Atari or Nintendo?
Nintendo, hands down.
Hands down. Okay. Mario or Donkey Kong?
Are we talking Atari Donkey Kong, or are we talking later Donkey Kong?
Just in general, just overall.
That's a tie.
That's
oh
fine.
man, that's a hard one because
Yeah.
man, Mario was like, oh man, you know what it's like to beat that game in one life?
Yeah.
On all the boards with one life?
Yeah, that's why I love this session. I always try to find a couple of questions.
We'll go Mario because Mario was my first love, so I'm gonna go Mario.
Okay.
We'll go Mario.
Okay, no good. Console or PC?
Now PC.
Now PC. Okay.
Now PC. Definitely.
Mixer or Twitch?
Twitch, of course, because Twitch hasn't evicted me. Mixer evicted me, and I don't like them. They were a terrible landlord, so we'll go with Twitch. Definitely.
Only because of what I've seen you play recently, Call of Duty or Apex Legends?
COD. I'll always be a COD girl.
Always be a COD girl? Okay.
Always. COD is my first love. It'll always be my first love. It's what I murder on.
And again, another shout out to your son for introducing you to COD and not Fortnite, because you could have easily been a Fortnite player. I've learned to play Fortnite. Like I like it a little bit now. I just started playing it 2 weeks ago for the first time. But shout out again to your son for making you a COD player. He foresaw at 6 years old where you needed to go. So
absolutely. And now we have competitions.
All right. Would you rather 100,000 followers on YouTube or 100,000 followers on your streaming platform?
On my streaming. Well, it depends, because if the 100,000 followers are just followers and they don't talk, I don't want false followers, I guess I would call that.
Gotcha.
I'd rather have 200 followers that I know talk to me every day than 100,000 that I never say a word to.
Okay. I respect you. You've actually the second person to answer that question kind of similar. So, no, that's much respect. Much respect.
Yeah, I'm not, I've never been a numbers person. I've never looked at, that was one thing a streamer told me one time is never look at the numbers. Because if you're so worried about numbers, you're not worried about what you're doing. You're so focused on it. So, yeah, definitely, yeah.
Okay. All right. Here's a question. Here's a major question now.
Oh, Lord.
Big or Tupac?
I gotta go with Big. I gotta go Biggie. Gotta go. There's no way. I have beef with Pac because Pac was born in New York but went to the West Coast and said he was West Side till he died. You're from New York, bro.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah. Right.
You're a traitor. I can't do it. I love Pac's music.
Yeah.
But I gotta go Biggie. Biggie all day. Yeah.
Okay. Little Kim or Foxy?
Ooh. I rock with them both so heavy too. Oh man. Damn, that's such a hard question.
I know, but that's why I threw a lot of these in here just to.
See, if Foxy would have kept on, I would pick Foxy, but Foxy didn't drop enough albums, so I'll have to go Kim. I have to go Kim. Okay. Yeah. No. Foxy's my chick though.
Like I said, I like these questions. I like to stump the crowd.
Yeah,
okay.
that's a tough one.
Drake or Kanye?
Drake. I hate Kanye.
Really?
I cannot stand Kanye. I hate Kanye with a passion. I like 2 songs by Kanye, and that's it. I just think he's a weirdo.
Yeah. He's
I
definitely
think Drake will be the next. Drake will be just as big as Jay-Z, if not bigger. Wow. If not bigger. Just because Drake is so talented and he's extremely smart. Like, he created his company from the get-go. Like, he knew what he wanted, and he's another one that supports his people a lot. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, he's all for his boys eating too, and I think that's why I like him and respect him so much, is because he wants everybody to eat. And that's because Wayne taught him that, and everybody hated Wayne. But Wayne taught Drake a whole lot.
Yeah. I mean, when you look at, the Young Money, how he supported, when you look at the beef he had with Baby, over things, and you never hear about that with Lil Wayne and Young Money. You never hear a publishing, a money issue. He took care, Wayne took care, because Wayne learned from how he got screwed. Right.
And he didn't want to do the same because he knew Drake was going to blow up. I knew Drake was going to blow up. He long way from the grassy high, I tell you that much. I only knew about that because of my daughter. My daughter loved that show. So. Man, the man's got his own station on Sirius XM now.
Really?
Channel 42 is Drake's channel.
Big up. Oh, wow. Okay.
Yes,
that's when you know you're doing it big. Yeah,
you got your own channel on Sirius XM. You like LL and Slim Shady now.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, no, exactly.
That's good company.
Very good company to be in. Yep. All right, so this last question, only because I learned recently of a team that you root for, which much respect to them, but I'll tell you about that in a second. Jason Tatum or Jaylen Brown?
Ooh. Oh, man.
You just threw that question into my head the other day, too, so I knew I wanted to ask you that.
I got to go Tatum, but Jaylen Brown is awesome. Them two together, if they stick together, they will be the dynamic duo. Like, them boys,
agreed.
They are so good. So good. Boston all day.
So the reason why I asked that question, of course, because your son came into your stream the other day and was talking some Red Sox stuff.
Oh, my!
I wanted to ban him myself because as a Yankees fan, and like I say, I don't do anything Boston. I don't do the Patriots. I don't do the Dead Sox. No. I don't do the Bruins, and I don't even follow hockey like that. And I don't do the Celtics. You're like, whoa.
Whoa, not on the Celtics.
Right. So now I do like Stevens. I do like the coach Brad Stevens. Yeah. I do like Tatum and Brown. I do like them. I actually got to see Jaylen Brown play in high school because I lived in Georgia at the time. But the real reason I'm mad at the Celtics is because of the way they fleeced the Nets back in the day, where they sent us that old-ass Garnett and old-ass Pierce that turned into the picks that ended up being Jaylen Brown and Jason Tatum. So they easily could have been Nets. So that's why I don't like the Celtics. Now, I liked the Celtics when I was a kid because I didn't like the Lakers. I thought the Lakers were too flashy. I wasn't. Yeah. My brother was a Lakers fan. But recently, I like when they put the big three together. I like that when and I like the love that they had. I hated when Ray Allen left because I was like,
that crushed me.
Yeah, but when they fleeced the Nets the way they did, and shout out to Danny Ainge because he finessed them. He did what he was supposed to do. He
finessed the hell out of them.
He did what he gave us garbage and got gold. He said, "Yo, let me sell you this bridge over here for $1." And
yeah, like, it's good. You know what I'm saying? It's kind of sturdy. You know what I'm saying? Like, it'll get you at least 2 more years.
Yeah, it'll get you a championship because we had Joe Johnson and we got Deron Williams and stuff like that.
And y'all win.
I was like, okay, they may make a run. And Pierce and Garnett were trash. They were trash.
They were old.
Yeah. Yeah, they were worn out. They already had
They were tired from battling the Lakers for the last 3 years.
Exactly. Yep. So that is my beef with the current Celtics. So that's why when I say that, like I said, Stevens is one of my favorite coaches. Like I said, I coach girls basketball. I steal a lot of his plays and a lot of his stuff. So I have much respect for him as a coach, even when he was at Butler. I like Tatum. I like Brown. I like what they bring. I like Jaylen Brown because as a young man, he's very active in Atlanta. People don't know that.
Yes, he's very active. That's what I love about them is that they are using their platform to educate people and to get people out there and let them know what's going on. Like, I love that about them.
Yes,
I'm all for it.
Yes.
All for it.
Yeah,
because that shit's got.
Yeah.
It's
that's my Celtics. dislike story. I won't say hate because it's such a strong word, but that's my dislike story about the Celtics, only because of the way they fleeced my team. So now everybody's mad because Blake Griffin came and LaMarcus Aldridge came. Hey, listen, you got to eat that because we struggled. You know, I guess I'm always going to rep the hometown team. We got fleeced. We struggled. We got a good team. And now, look, hey, tell your team to get their weight up and get their bank up. Because otherwise, you could have had them two guys, too. So.
Okay. We'll
that's my
settle
little
this on the
soapbox
court.
about that. Right. All right. So this is a couple more.
Kyrie.
You know what? I'm a little mad at him because, in just to veer off, into sports for a second, but he's such a diva that, he took time, 3 days off for personal reasons. Everything is personal reasons with him. I think he struggles with not being the man. And I thought I thought when he came to Brooklyn, and then Kevin Durant came, he needed Durant because of the way he struggled without LeBron. I don't think he settled for everybody else coming. Because now, to me, James Harden is putting a case for MVP on that team when you got another MVP and another guy that potentially could have been MVP, on your team. And now he's like, oh, this personal days, or he's going to celebrate. Like, dude, like, come on. Like, dude, you're so soft now. Like they show, like, to me, they can trade him and walk away from him and still be good because you got Spencer Dinwiddie coming back into the mix next year. Mm-hmm. He's such a crybaby. And I know he's from New Jersey. I know he's local hometown.
And that's
kid.
what bothers me about him so much is you're from Jersey, bro. Like, when did you become as soft as pudding? Like,
yes.
Why everything, I used to be a Kyrie fan. I used to like support him so strong because he was from Jersey. And I was like, I know where he's from. You know what I'm saying? Like, to make it out, he did something for himself. I'm not a LeBron fan at all. So he was the only one on the Cavs that I liked. I also I'm not a huge Celtics fan, but I'm a huge Celtics fan, but I'm not I like the Warriors too. And the only reason why I like the Warriors is because I like Curry. I like Thompson. You know what I'm saying? I like Green. I like all of them. I think they're great players. I watched them come up and play together, and I like their style of basketball. I like Steve Kerr. I think he's a great coach. And I think Durant took what he learned and brought it to New Jersey and said, look, it worked. You see it works. Everybody bites their pride. We can get some rings. Kyrie don't want to do that. Kyrie wants to be the man so bad. He don't know how to be a team player anymore.
No.
He's always hurt. He's injury prone. Everything. I stubbed my toe. I'm so sorry. Yeah. Suck it up. Put some tape on.
And that goes back to college. I think he only played like 15, 20 games. If not
he didn't even play half the season.
Yeah.
And I don't know. That's just, I used to love Kyrie, and then he came to Boston, and I really just was like, man.
Yeah, and when they showed that they could win without, I was so happy for them when they showed they could win without him. I mean, the Gordon Hayward injury was just unfortunate.
It was.
And I remember watching that game, and when you heard it, like it was.
I remember going, no, why?
Yeah.
This is going to be a great season. We were going to win without a shadow of a doubt.
Right. But to their detriment, it opened the door for Jaylen Brown and Jason Tatum to step up.
They made them be better. They made them be better. They definitely did.
Definitely, without a doubt.
Yeah.
All right, so let me ask you this last question.
Okay.
When you retire from streaming, gaming, when you're ready to when you say, you know what, we're gonna call it a career. I've had a great career. It's been nice. It's time to move on. What is the one thing that you want to be remembered for?
One thing I want to be remembered for. Just being me. Just a down to earth person that everybody goes, even if you're not streaming, I want to keep up with you, I want us to be friends down the road. Like, I want to create friendships and build relationships with people and you know, even when I'm not playing the game anymore, I can still say, hey, how's everything going down there in Florida? You know, you and the wife good? You know what I'm saying? Like, I just want people to go, you know, I found a friend in Kells and she's always said who she was and she's never changed. You know, that's one thing that I stand by, that I've always been. I've always been me. I've never changed for anybody. I've never switched up on anybody. I have friends that I've been friends with since high school, and they go, you are exactly the same that you was when you was 15. And I go, well, at least you know I'm original.
Yes.
You know, you don't ever have to worry about where you stand with me. I'm that person. Hey, look, I don't like what you're doing. I'm just going to let you know I don't like what you're doing. I still love you, but I don't like what you're doing. You know, I'm that friend. And that's
real
really,
one.
Yeah, she was a real one. That's pretty much, she was a real one. That's all I want. And then by then, hopefully my kids will be streamers and I'll be like, hey, go follow my kids. You know, they take over where I left off.
Yeah, you gotta leave the unicorn community and family off to somebody. That's what I hope to do with mine. Hopefully one of my kids decide to pick up the mantle, but you know, definitely I think you'll be leaving them, you know, in good hands, especially your one that's into the programming, like we discussed earlier. Hopefully he decides, you know, that's the one that always pops his head in every now and then, right? Oh yeah.
Well, both of them do. Both of them, the one that I play with, he's the one that he's starting to stream more and do things, but he won't get good stuff until he can get his grades up.
Hey, listen, son. The first, I tell people all the time, man. There was a time when people used to, you know, women used to chase, you know, they wanted the street dudes, and the street dudes was the thing. Now it's the guys with the brains they're the ones that are winning. They're the ones. I went to one of the best high schools in New York, Brooklyn Technical High School. Changed my life. I can't say where I would have been if I hadn't gone to that school, but you had to take a specialized test. It's one of them. You know,
you have to take an aptitude test.
Yeah, right? yeah. Ask Patty. Patty probably know about Brooklyn Tech and Stuyvesant and Bronx Science, how hard it was to get into those schools. And but hey, son, listen, Mom is dropping both of you. Mom, listen to Mom Dukes, man. I'm telling you, listen, Mom Dukes is telling you the truth, man. She's, you know, most kids they don't like when my parents were around. I didn't hear it then, you know, I didn't hear it, but now as I got older, I'm like. Damn,
makes perfect sense.
My dad. Damn, what Mom said was right. Like it's all.
Well, I didn't listen.
Yeah, exactly.
I just didn't listen.
Exactly. She's giving you guys the jewels. She's giving you guys the jewels right now. So for your son that streams, make sure you send me his link. So I want to put it in the description. Like you said, everybody can find you on Twitch. Tell us what days and times that we can find you typically on Twitch.
Definitely on the weekends. You can always find me on the weekends. It varies during the week. I've been trying to be more active. It's just dependent on my job schedule right now. But I try to slip in a stream at least every day, at least 4 hours. My internet's gone crazy the last week, so it lets me stream for an hour and a half, and then it goes, that's it, you're done. And I go, oh, okay, my bad. But usually anytime, I'm trying to stick to my 7 to 10 schedule.
Okay.
I think I might need to do a little adjustments, but definitely in Discord. If you follow me in Discord, I'm always posting in Discord when I'm going to go live. Definitely on Twitter, Instagram. You can always catch me saying, hey, I'm going live. But I'm always around.
All right. And like I said, we'll make sure we'll have your socials in the chat. And please, if you're watching or you're listening, please drop this awesome woman a follow. Drop her. And if you find it in your heart, subscribe. The goal is to look back in 1 year's time from this podcast to make sure that she's a full-time content creator. That is the goal. We're going to help with the Pharaoh's Realm. We're going to help her achieve this goal. Everybody, please get on board to become a part of the Unicorn family. Like I said, I'm not saying this just because she's here. I am in her community. You know, I consider her a friend, sister. You know, like I said, she's supported. She supports everybody that comes through. When you have that model, like the Pharaoh says, everybody eats, I'm always going to support you. And she's truly one of the ones that make sure that everybody eats. Absolutely. So thank you again for coming on. I appreciate you, coming on and spending an hour's time.
It's my pleasure to be here. I mean, I can't thank you enough for the support. And if you're not subscribed and following to this man, then there's something wrong with you. And we have other conversations to talk about. So. Yes, but thank you for the support. Thank you for the love. It is most definitely greatly appreciated. It's been an honor to be here. Thank you for having me.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. And like we always like to end the podcast, you could spend your time doing anything in the world, but you spend it with me, and I appreciate it. Yo, big up Brooklyn. Yo, Pharoah is out. Peace.